Hey, 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 this is Beverly Bozeman. I am the creator of Speak Queen, an encouraging platform for women. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Be sure and share this broadcast with your friends and your family. Be sure to turn on the notification bell so that you'll know when I drop another video. And be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And again, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. My broadcast today is entitled A Frankenstein Heart. A week or so ago, I was watching a little bit of Hidden Figures. If you haven't seen the movie, be sure and check it out. But basically, it's based on a true story about three black women who were instrumental in helping NASA to put the first man on the moon. And it was set in the 60s. So black women had rights, but not a lot of rights. There was still, some segregation going on. And Taraji P. Henson starred in the movie. I forget her character's name, but this is based on a true story, so you can find out which character she was playing. And she was really, really smart. She was like awesome at math. And so she was working in a room with all white men. There were, one or two white women there. They were secretarial. And they, all treated her like, So she left every day for, during the work day. And she was gone for about 40 minutes. And one day she had to go to the bathroom. They didn't have any bathrooms for black people in the building where she worked. And so she had to walk like almost half a mile to the other side of the campus to use the bathroom. And so she came back from her break or whatever, and she had to run in the rain. And she came back and she was 40 minutes. And her supervisor was like, "Where have you been? Every day you disappear for about 40 minutes. And I want to know, where have you been? Where do you go? What do you do?" And she kind of lost it. And she told him in a loud and very upset voice that I go to the bathroom. There is no bathroom in this building for colored women. And I work like a dog and can't even drink out of the same coffee pot as the other people in this room. Paraphrasing. She was very upset, and then she gathered herself. "Now, if you will excuse me, I'm going to lunch." And she got her stuff and she left and went to lunch. The whole time she gave the speech. Now, she's the only black person in the whole room and probably the only black person in the whole building. And she just was being looked at. The men was looking at her like this. Like deer in some headlights. The supervisor, he was looking a bit confused, but you couldn't tell if he was confused because she was loud, because she was speaking up for herself, or because of what she was saying, that she had to walk almost half a mile to go to the bathroom. And that's why it takes her so long. And when she did that, I just felt some kind of way. Real talk. I really did. Even though that was set back in the day, we as black women, we still go through stuff like that. And it tends to be undercover and indirect, but it still happens. But it is what it is. The thing that really disturbed me the most was I remember the phrase, the angry black woman. Not a black woman that's mad at this particular situation, but the angry black woman. We as black women, especially back in the 70s and 80s, and I experienced it like in the 90s when I started working like full time and stuff. We as black women had received the label as the angry black woman. And it was from everybody who wasn't black and a woman. Even black men were calling us angry black women. Yeah, black women, especially back in the day, not so much now, black women were angry. And it was a different type of angry than angry now. And the reason why black women have been so angry down through the years is because of the Frankenstein heart. Frankenstein, y'all can look it up, is a book or whatever. Scientists took parts from people who had died and created this person, this man. It was really a monster. And you could see in different parts of his body where he had been stitched, and it looked like patchwork, you know, like a quilt where pieces had been sewn up. And that's the thing that stood out when I saw the movie and saw how angry she was and saw how they were looking at her. And it put me in remembrance of the times when I had to speak up for myself, and I was seen as the angry black woman in the office or on the job because I was speaking up for myself. I mean, and you know, in order to keep our jobs, real talk, in order to keep our jobs, or we got to be nice, make peace, keep quiet. But we mad. Now, we might be mad about stuff at home like everybody else, but majority of the time it's the situation. And we have to endure so much, carry so much weight, carry so much burden that we have, okay, like our heart has anger from this situation, anger from that situation, anger from this situation and that, and it's just pieces piled on top, and they become meshed, become grafted. Like if you ever seen somebody with a skin graft and they take a piece of skin from a healthy piece of skin from another part of their body and cover it on the part of their body that's diseased or was burned or whatever, it's still skin, it's still their skin, but it looks different, it looks weird. And their range of motion or the stretchability, elasticity of that particular graft is not the same as the other parts. So if we have a Frankenstein heart with all of these different burdens and burns and scars and bruises and situations to where we're called out of our names, we know we're not being paid the same as our coworkers that don't look like us. If we have been done wrong in our relationships, if our families mistreating us, our friends are backstabbing us, our church members are gossiping about us, we're going to have different pieces of negative emotions hooked together around our heart, not our physical heart, but our emotional heart, our mental heart, our spiritual heart. And it's hard to have that elasticity, to stretch, to become new. And in that movie, I know she was seen as the angry black woman because nobody in that room could ever feel what she was going through. Ever. Yeah, she was working at NASA, but they were looking down their nose at her like she won't nothing. I know how it feels to be in a environment, a working environment, and you're different. And you know good T well that you are not being treated like everybody else. So it's hard to be your very best. Not impossible. It's just hard. And especially when you're trying to maintain a specific image to where you'll be treated professionally or you'll be treated fairly. But that angry black woman label is going to always be in the back of people's minds. Because we as black women, we are angry. We have to carry a lot of stuff and expected to perform. We're expected to be Florence. We're expected to be Little Kim. We're expected to be Sarita Jakes. We are expected to be the comedian of the year. Nothing wrong with any of these people that I'm naming, but they are known for specific things. We're expected to cook, clean, have kids, raise kids, go out and make the money, pay the bills, be the listening ear, be the sounding board, be the protector, be the provider. We're expected to do a lot of things. And a lot of times we're expected to be a lot of things to people who don't even have the say so. You ain't got no right to expect that from her, but you expect it. And then some people expect you to be like them. Some people are literally what they consider unfazable. Like they can't be fazed by anything. And they want everybody else to be like that. And if you show any signs of being human or doing something that they used to do or they are incapable of doing because they just cannot, they're looking at you strange and they're looking at you kind of weird. And it's 9 times out of 10, negative emotions, negative memories, and people will say, just get over it or just learn how to deal with it. But if there is no way to get over it, there's no way to deal with it because you're constantly in those same roles over and over, you're going to need to have a new role. If all you do is the same things over and over and over and over, and they're not good, they're not beneficial, they're totally weighing you down, how can you take on another role that's going to help you to get rid of those old roles? Everybody got to fight their own battles and live their own lives. But I'm just saying, we are angry. We as Black women, we are angry. Some express it, some don't. Some can, some won't. So, I guess in saying all of that, when you see a Black woman and she is angry or she is upset, or you can tell that she is hurting, but she's still pushing through, give her some slack. Because what we don't want to happen is a woman having an explosion. Because the fallout is awful. Now, in the movie, after she said her piece and she went on about her business, she finally got her bathroom. Well, I take that back. There was a sign that said, white women only. Her supervisor took like a crowbar or something and knocked the sign down. So Black women could now use that bathroom. And the uniform, this is in the movie, the uniform for the women were heels and pearls. And she said, you don't pay me enough to afford pearls. That's a whole nother video. But in summary, if you see a woman, and this applies to all women, but especially Black women, we see a Black woman and she's struggling with her emotions. She's to herself, or she seems like she's always mad. Have a little heart. Have a little grace for her. If you can help her, help her. Don't ask her what's wrong, because she A, either don't want you in her business, or B, don't want you in her business. No. Sometimes it's best not to tell people why you are feeling the way you're doing, why feeling the way you're feeling. Sometimes it's just best not to tell people why you're feeling the way you're feeling, because some people have ulterior motives. They want to know so they can get on the horn, honey. And they want to tell. That's why a lot of Black women are angry, because they ain't got nobody to talk to. Sometimes a Black woman cannot tell who she feels like she can trust, because that person's in a particular role. So yeah, you feel like you can trust them, but hey, if you know you can't, then don't. Anyways, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Again, be sure and share this broadcast with your friends and your family. Be sure to turn on the notification bell so that you'll know when I'm on with another video. Like and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to release your genius. Pull out the impossible every day. Remember, you will have whatever it is that you say. So be positive when you speak, Queen.